This is the last section on our technical communication section. It's all about written communication. And many of you may have gone into engineering because you don't like writing, right? I'm not a big fan of writing myself, but writing is one of the most important communication tools that we have as engineers. And we're going to look at a few of these types of written communications that we use as engineers. The first one we'll look at is technical reports. If you take engineering 203 with me, which is mechanics of materials, there's a lab in there, and we write up lab reports. But technical reports are also like the ones that you have written for your first design project and the one you'll write for your second design project. The technical reports is really just a document that explains a technical process, and sometimes it's our engineering process, or it could be an experiment or a lab that we've done. Okay, and there's three main parts typically to a report. The first part is an abstract that gives some summary of the main points of what you're looking at, what the report is about. Another one is the body, which is the supporting material of everything that you've done. So it could be the lab itself, or it could be the design process that you did, right? What did you do to it? And then finally, the conclusion, right? So what are the results of the lab, or what are the results of your design, right, in your design report? So let's just look specifically at lab reports. In a lab report, typically we will have some title page, which will have the title of the lab, and an abstract, which is just a brief description of what the lab is about. Then we have, after that, a section of methodology. And this describes really how the lab was performed, what was used as far as materials and equipment. This is really, really one of the most important sections because it tells us how the lab was performed and what was used. And if we follow this, right, and use this, we can go back and redo that same lab and maybe get the same results. Or someone may read your report and say, wow, I wonder if I get those same results if I do it. So they will use the same equipment and things and see if they get the same results you do. This is an extremely important section. Another important section, of course, is the results, right? This tells us has all the results of our data, right? Graphs and things like that. But we don't really get into the analysis of it. It's just a data dump kind of thing of what came out of our experimentation. And then we get into the analysis section, right? And here we're comparing our results to what may be theoretical predictions, or maybe we're comparing our results to previous experiments, or just other predicted results we might have, right? Or maybe we don't even know what we're predicting, right? So we don't have anything to compare it to, or we can compare it to normal situations. So like we might be doing tests on material, we know the yield strength of steel, we can compare those results. And then last is the conclusion, right? The conclusion kind of states everything that we found from it, whether anything was good or bad, what we can really conclude from our findings. And always check for grammar and spelling. Okay. All right. So that kind of concludes the written portion also of the technical writing.